Okay, so what we're going to do in this video is we're going to take a look at graphing some sines and cosines. So we'll take a look at two graphs, and let's suppose we start with this one here. So we have let's say y is equal to let's say 2 plus 3 times the cosine of 2x minus pi over 3. Okay, so first thing we're going to do here is we're going to get some information down. So let me just label some of these things here. So this right here is A, this is B, C, and D. Now, so the first thing here is I want to know if there's a vertical shift. Remember, that's if we move up or down, and that's D. So D tells us whether or not we're moving up or down. Since D is positive, that means our vertical shift is 2, so that means the graph of cosine is being shifted up 2. Alright, then I look at my amplitude. The amplitude is going to be the absolute value of A. In this case, it's 3. Okay, 3. Now what we're going to do is we want to figure out where the cycle starts. So what we can do is we can solve this inequality, 0 less than or equal to 2x minus pi over 3. And the reason why we're doing this is the graph of cosine usually starts at 0 and at x equals 0, and we have some things going on here. So we have like a phase shift and a change of period, and I want to see how that affects the values of x. Okay, so solving here, we get pi over 3 less than or equal to 2x, and then dividing by 2, we get pi over 6 less than or equal to x. So this tells me that the starting point of my graph of cosine starts at pi over 6 instead of a 0. Right, now I need to know what the period is. So the period is going to be 2 pi divided by the number b. In this case, the number b is 2, so we get pi. And then my quarter period is the distance between each of my 5 points on the x-axis that I'm going to use to sketch the graph of cosine. And so I just take a fourth of pi, and of course that's going to be pi over 4. All right. Okay, usually to make things easier, what I'd like to do is I like to have the quarter period and the start of my cycle to have the same denominator. So notice the LCD of them is 12, so I'm going to rewrite this as 3 pi over 12. And this one here I'm going to rewrite as pi over 12. Oh, I'm sorry, no, 2 pi over 12. Oops, I missed that. Okay, so that's going to be 2 pi over 12 less than or equal to x. Alright, so now we are ready to graph. So going in order, looks something like this. Alright, let me just move it up to, okay, so something like that. Hopefully that'll be good enough. Alright, so starting with the vertical shift, the vertical shift is 2. So I have the line, let's see, 2, just put that here. Okay, so this is line 2. Alright, so this is 1 and 2, right? And then my amplitude is 3. So for whatever reason this disappeared. Let me just put it right back again. Okay. So my amplitude is 3. So from here I'm going to go up 3. So 1, 2, 3. That's going to go to 5. And then go down 3 to -1. So 1, 2, 3 to -1. And now I'm going to label my x-axis. So my x-axis starts at pi over 6, or in this case we converted that to 2 pi over 12. And so that's 2 pi over 12. And then every 3 pi over 12 you have a new value, so I have 5 of these, 3, 4, that's 4, 5. So the next one's going to be 5 pi over 12, 8 pi over 12, 11 pi over 12, and 14 pi over 12. Let me just double check that I got these right, adding 3 to each, right? So we got 5, 8, 11, 14. Okay. And just to double check, what we could do is we could check to make sure we have the correct period. So if I take 14 pi over 12, which is this the end, subtract off the end, the beginning point, which is 2 pi over 12, we get 12 pi over 12, which is pi, which is the correct length of the cycle. Right? Period is pi. All right. Anyway, so now I just need to mimic the graph of cosine over this interval and between the points -1 and 5. So now cosine starts at the top, so at 2 pi over 12 it'll be at 5. At 5 pi over 12 it'll be at 2. At 8 pi over 12 we're going to be at -1. And 11 pi over 12 back at 2. And 14 pi over 12 we're back at 5. And so here is one cycle cosine.